Creating an enabling environment to make local airlines survive is now more critical than ever. It has often been said that air transportation services is one product that has the potential to market and boost the image of any country beyond its own shores. At the moment, there is no domestic carrier leaving the country for Europe, save Medview Airlines. What exactly must happen for local carriers to stay in business and succeed? That's our focus. A warm welcome to Aviation this week on Channels Television. I'm Bukola Joe Uketumbi.
In 2015, the aviation industry contributed about 185 billion naira, just 0.4% to Nigeria's overall GDP, and supported 254,500 jobs. That's from a Phillips Consulting survey. While experts believe the industry is capable of doing more, domestic airline operators have cited lack of long-term funding at sustainable interest rates as a major challenge.
You can get funding outside this country at a very, very, low interest rate of 3%, 2%, 4%. I've been discussing recently with a lending bank in Africa. They were ready to give me money to buy certain aircraft. Last minute, they pulled out. They put they post on it. Why? They don't know how I will be remitting my payments.
While indigenous carriers have a limited capacity and operate in a business with very low profit margins, multiple taxation, levies to various government agencies, and a consistently high price of aviation fuel adds to the burden.
One of the major areas we've told the government is the issue of fuel. GT1, we have said it 10 times. At the point of this administration, we thought they are going to create a window in one of the refineries to get this product, so that brings down the exposure of dollar.
We want the aviation money to recirculate in Nigeria. Now all the money is going out of Nigeria through aviation. Not enough of it is turned around within Nigeria. We like to see Nigerian operators carrying Nigerian passengers within Nigeria. We'd like to see Nigerian aircraft participating in the movement of passengers that are going out of this country in larger percentage. And we want to see them do that very safely.
With two local carriers currently under the control of the Asset Management Company of Nigeria, airline owners have chosen to take their battle for survival to the federal government. Just recently, they presented a 10-prayer document for action to the acting president, Professor Yemi Osinbajo. Top on the list are the removal of value-added tax, as the local airlines are the only arm of the transport sector paying VAT. Harmonization of over 35 multiple charges and review of 5% ticket sales charge to a flat rate in line with global standard practices. Poor navigational and landing aids at ports and obsolete infrastructure, all limiting operations to daylight activities for most airports. The federal government has, however, pledged commitment towards addressing the many challenges facing the aviation industry as part of plans to enhance the ease of doing business in the air transport sector.
There is an urgent need for a deliberate economic policy that will support the positive growth of aviation and survival of domestic airlines in the country. That's the view of the chairman of the Airline Operators of Nigeria, Nogie Megasin.
But there's one thing that the government has not been able to carry along, which is the economic policy, which is the financial policy. As I always tell my staff, safety is very critical, but at the same time, the profit of the airline is also critical. They both have to run concurrently in pairs, because if you neglect or overlook either of them, you will end up in problems. In the sense, if there's no profit, you start to push your safety envelope because you have less disposable income to do your maintenance. And we must thank the federal government, the Buhari administration, speaking also with the acting president, who also came in person, as you know, to our airports here to see firsthand for himself. And he's also identified the issues and the problems. Yes, it's being turned around. Yes, the government has identified. Yes, we are moving places. But we need to also carry the airlines along so that the airlines can work hand in hand with the ease of doing business policy by the federal government. That's why today, if you go into Heathrow Terminal 5, you probably think Heathrow Terminal 5 was built by British Airways, but it's not. But the British Airport Authority is working hand in hand with the airlines. Same thing if you go into Frankfurt, you think it's Lufthansa. It's not Lufthansa, but they are carrying Lufthansa along. If you go into Johannesburg, same. If you go into Dubai, those of us who go into Dubai every day, you think Dubai is Emirates Airlines. It's not Emirates Airlines. It's Emirates Aviation Authority, the airport authority. So two different companies, but they're carrying everybody along. So they work hand in hand. So, and that's one of the issues we took to the acting president, and he saw reasons, and we believe he's going to address it because he's a man of a big heart and a listening ear. The acting president actually set up something to look into it in the next 2 weeks. So we hope in the next 2 weeks, when we sit down with him again, sit down with the committee on moving forward and getting aviation back, because aviation really should not really be looking at aviation as airline. We should look at aviation as a country because of our geographical position, as an earner and a contributor to our GDP, because we can easily be the fourth contributor if everything comes online. After petroleum, after agriculture, then mining, the next thing is aviation. And as somebody put it, and which I agree, which is on the next phase, if we can spin our tourism back up, we can easily, after oil, be the next earner. Tourism is a big earner for places like Ethiopia. 32% of the earnings coming from tourism, and which is aviation driven.